three-peat were in a boat. Pete fell out. Who was left?
And the boat shot up 10 feet.
Dude, you remember when you were a kid and you were on the teeter-totter, the seesaw, and you always had that one jackass that would put you up in the air and then jump off, and that was
Here,
Pete.
let's throw some age out there, Mikey D.
Yes, sir.
Old Chicago, baby.
Old Chicago. Yeah. Old Chicago.
Bolingbrook.
Up at the amusement park?
Yeah.
Bolingbrook. I was there.
Baby.
10 years.
Yeah. You always would get a searing headache from that place because all the sound was encapsulated in an indoor mall.
Dude, as a kid, that place seemed huge. Can you imagine going back as an adult? It'd be like, what the hell is this, man?
I got a piece of trivia for you. In the movie called The Fury, which was about these kids that would have this like telekinetic powers, they're there and they make one of the carts fly off and these two Arabs get killed.
Hey, have you ever heard the joke, Mike Dermont, next time you talk to your sales team?
Yeah.
Say, for all of you that have telekinesis, please raise my hand.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
That's too funny.
Not really.
No, it was pretty bad, but I laughed.
That's okay.
I see Regina's iPad is here. Does that mean Regina's here too? It's on mute.
She's about to hop on.
She's getting her levels in.
Hey, by the way, I know Beth wanted to make a mention. One of our big fans, Daniel Nunamaker. I don't want to make sure I don't forget about it. He is a huge fan of the show, and
Danny
just wanted to give a shot. He's an awesome guy. I saw him twice this weekend.
he is a super trooper, man. What a guy he is, right? I think he can actually. He's one of those dudes that can be at like 4 shows at the same time. He's turn around. There's Dan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Multi-shows.
He's a multi-show, faceted person. Fantastic stuff.
Wait,
I like his last name too. Nunamaker. Does that mean he's like an Italian nun maker? Hey,
Nunamaker.
I am making a nun.
How you doing? Been there 2-3 years.
2-3.
Couple 2.
Wait a minute. We got somebody under the age of 50, and that's not a male on this show. What the hell is going on? Who is?
Wait a minute. Rhodesy's under 50 and he's not a male.
Well, he is in the court system working on it.
Hey, what's up, Petey the pedophile?
I got to get on earlier, man. I miss all the good stuff.
Demonetized in 2 minutes. How to not make money with a podcast.
That's right here. We're going to show you how to non-monetize. Non-monetization.
Anti-money.
That's right. We don't like money.
Regina, welcome to the show. This is the pre-show. It didn't really start yet. We're getting our two together.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yeah. Dude, that is like the most comfy looking couch, and I think your dog's going to agree with me.
He is. Yeah. I was like, can I do this at my table? I was like, it's hot in there. I live in like a legit Chicago apartment.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah. So it's like it can get warm on the side of the house where there's more sun, and I'm like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah, I feel that, man.
If that's a legit Chicago apartment, that's your front room.
Front room.
It is. It is, but I'm surrounded by you're absolutely right. There's a dance studio on one side of me, and then there's a Italian barber on the other side. And it's a brick wall. So when the sun sets right now, it's only hitting like one window.
Uh-huh.
And so I go to the other one.
So you strategically place yourself throughout the house depending on where the sun is. So we can actually tell what time it is by the room that Regina is occupying.
I would get more red as the hour goes on.
I didn't know you actually lived in the city. I thought you were a suburb girl.
No, I lived downtown for the longest time, like Lake Shore East, like Upper Randolph. And then I went to Glen Ellen for a minute. And then meaning like maybe a year. I loved it there. It was downtown Glen Ellen. It was cute. And I was like, I can't do this. Like I'm single and everybody here is a cute couple with kids and I don't have that. And
yeah,
you got to climb the telephone pole to make a phone call.
That's right.
I did like it one day. I was watching the movie Lucas. And the show I was like, oh my God, it's the high school. Right?
So cool.
I can live here now.
That's so funny. No, because I figured, since you do so many shows out in the burbs, I figured, hey, man, that's the place for you. But no, I get it. You're single. You're young. You want to be where the action is. That shit. Now
I live in like Jefferson Park.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Not downtown.
North side.
Jeff Park.
The north side over
Yeah,
by
north
there.
side over there.
Over by there.
Get a beef.
Get a
Make it
beef.
quick.
I got a beef with you.
There's definitely a lot of beef in here.
Yeah. Chicago's known for its beef, that's for sure.
I live like next door to Superdog. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
like close.
Love that place.
Down the
Can't
street.
go wrong.
It's my favorite hot dog. I like it better than Gene and Jude's.
I
And
do too.
I love it.
Gene
It's
and
the
Jude's
best.
is over. I think it's overrated. I think the only reason
Overrated.
Gene and Jude's is because it was next door to the Thirsty Whale. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I
No.
mean,
It's a hot dog.
No, Wiener Circle overrated.
The Wiener Schnitzel.
I'll take Super Dog over both of those places.
You know what? I'll say Portillo's is overrated. For a wiener, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's like corporate. That's corporate food.
That's what you said wieners that are overrated, right?
Wiener Circle. Well, besides the guys on this show.
The whole lot of wiener
then
talk.
CBob.
Speaking of wieners, CBob's here. What an
Afternoon.
intro that was, man. We're talking
Thanks.
about hot dogs, and there's CBob.
Thanks. So remember that next time you're being interviewed, Mike.
Exactly. It's got to be something with that Chris Crotch, man. Where we keep
Oh my God!
gravitating.
You okay?
We keep gravitating to the. I don't know what it is.
We're gonna have words, Mike. We're gonna have words. It's not about me right now. It's about. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anything with Regina. So
We're just bantering right now, CBob.
Yeah. We were waiting for you.
We were waiting.
no, you weren't.
Yeah,
No,
can
you
we
weren't.
start? Can we start, CBob?
We are ready.
CBob,
Thanks for having me, again, guys.
What's the weekend? We're not really ready because the show didn't really start, so we're just warming up.
Got it.
How was the
Got
heat? How was the heat for everybody? Starting with Chris.
Oh my God! So I played a show out in Savannah, Illinois, at Poopy's. It's a biker bar with two of my bands, and this is when the corn sweat season of the year. Basically, all the corn lets off the moisture, and it was 95% humidity.
Ew.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Feels
gotta
like it-
smell pretty bad too.
You know,
The
it was a
poor
great show.
corn sweat. I mean, that's nasty.
Well, it's not corn sweat. It's just releasing the moisture.
I
It's what
get
they
it.
call
I'm
it. But
kidding. Yeah.
I was able to wring out my shoes when we were done. I'm not kidding.
Oh, man.
It was bad.
Dude.
So it was a great show, but I'm actually mixing it down right now. But that was it for me. How about you guys?
Rhodesy, drummer for hire. How are you? Did you get to take a break this weekend?
I had the weekend off. I went and saw some bands, but I will say that I'm glad I wasn't huffing equipment around on Saturday. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody.
Especially Saturday night. I heard it really got bad. Like say 11 o'clock on after that.
Yeah, the humidity came late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corn
Bongo
sweat
Mike,
came
how
late.
are the Mosquitos? Anything going on?
Well, we were off. We're on next week at Sundance for their Full Tilt Fridays. So August 8th, 7 to 10 p.m. But no, this weekend I saw a whole bunch of music. I went to the Out of Space in Skokie and saw the Decemberists and another band called Kevin Morbley. Was very good. And it wasn't too hot yesterday. That was the Out of Space. Saturday, I was at Lincolnwood Fest with our friends, The Chain. So Todd Lazar on bass, Sophie Hafer on keys. So that was a lot of fun. So out supporting the local music. Ginger's Open, they were rocking it. And then on Thursday, I saw our friends Rumor Has It over at Bub City in Rosemont. So I was
Saw your videos
out
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. So I got to see a lot of people. Got to see Daniel Nunamaker like twice during the weekend.
I'm telling you, Super Dan fan.
Super Dan,
Are
Super
we
Dan
supposed to
fan.
give him another shout out?
Just gave
Just
another
did.
one. Super fan
Yeah.
Dan, Nunamaker, out there making nuns.
What
Yeah.
band is he in?
Nunamaker.
He just
Dan
shows
is a
up with
yellow banana.
his shaker banana.
There you go.
Yellow banana.
He is the super fan Dan. I believe there's a show with him and the attorney.
Yeah, Brian.
Kaiser. He's got 4 names. I forget. I can't
Kaiser
remember.
Wilhelm. Kaiser Wilhelm.
But he's-
Kaiser Sose.
He is the hired dancer for every band show that we
Oh,
go
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking with. That. Yeah, I've seen him a couple times. Actually, doesn't he do that to get his steps in? Joking
Yeah,
aside.
something like that, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all do.
He does. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
joking. Holy crap. We got this is like an all-star show.
Who else is here?
Holy.
Brought to you by Colgate.
Wally. in the he's flying a jet airplane now.
What are you talking about?
30,000 feet.
You got somebody else coming in?
Belts.
No, we don't hear you.
We can.
Oh,
we
you're
can't
just
hear
fine. Let me help you out, Wal.
He's having his own conversation. I have no idea what the hell's going on. I think Pete has finally lost it.
You just hearing, yeah, passengers, we're
He misses
side.
Wally. He's like, I wish Wally was here. Wally's playing with his trains down in his basement because that's not creepy.
What's wrong with that?
Look at the right side.
Don't go
Hey man,
that.
this is a little Regina and Mike thing going on. We had a little side conversation about that. I think it's awesome.
All right, wait till we find something out about you. There.
Oh, you want to do
Dermont?
Hey man,
Yeah.
Dormant.
Dormant.
Yeah.
No sound, Wally.
I don't even see Wally.
Yeah.
He's got
Wally's
Ground
here. I
control
can
to
hear.
Major Tom.
he's got his Cessna headset on.
By the way, I just want to point out.
Simulator.
Hey,
how
that's my picture, man.
But the
Why did you
name,
put Dermont there?
Sell out.
Did you change that, didn't you, CBob?
of course I did. I misspelled it one time, and that's your name. Don't
Yeah.
ask what Marty's is. He's Morty.
Morty. Morty
jeez.
Krabless.
Mike Dormont, what were you doing over this weekend?
What was I doing over this weekend? Well, I wasn't sweating as much as everybody. I had more of a green bean.
Hey, he's there.
Wally.
You know what?
This is ground control to Major Tom.
Please put your shoes back on.
It's so hard to defend yourself when you can't speak back.
Yeah, I know. Well, I did make fun of your trains. I know you heard it, buddy, but it was all out of love, man.
I
That's
stick up
okay.
for you, Wally.
Hi, Regina.
Hi, good to see you.
So what did I do this weekend? I had the privilege and honor of hosting the 45th anniversary reunion show of the band Moon. Now, if you're an old-time rocker here in Chicago, you definitely know Moon. They were founded, I think, in 1980. Original band out of McHenry, just, 4 dudes. It was Danny and Donnie Schramm, Brian Priest, and Scott Thompson. Unfortunately, Donnie passed away from cancer in 2020. So the boys decided, you know what, they're going to come together, do a reunion show to celebrate their 45th anniversary and raise some money for cancer. So we took that show out to the Vixen, and I was blown away, not only by the amazing crowd that came out to support the event, but the band sounded fantastic. I was just, hey, the guitar player, Brian Priest, who played in a Coterie event sometime back, I think it was
I love the 80s.
show.
I love the 80s at the Vixen. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, for a guy that's 71 years old, dude still freaking has it. I was like, I love seeing the older rockers still rocking, man. It was kick ass. I was in awe.
Who was their bass player?
So the bass player's name is Scott Thompson.
Oh, Scott Thompson. Okay.
Yeah, Scott Thompson. And then what was really cool is Danny Schramm's son, Vaughn. By the way, Vaughn Schramm. Is that not a freaking rock star's name?
Yeah.
21-year-old guitar player was up there playing with his dad, and it was so cool, man. I mean, it was generational. It was rocking. It was a good time.
Cool.
And then,
Very
Wally,
cool.
could you tell everybody who you are before we get to our guest, Regina? Because this is a pleasant surprise to have you back.
Oh, thanks. Well, let's see. You guys, my name's Wally.
Hi, Wally.
Of
Wally, nice
simply,
to meet you.
of simply Wally,
Long-time
singer, songwriter, whatever. But yeah, that's me, and I work a lot with Regina, so
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to chime in. I want to learn a lot more about Regina that she has not told me.
Then it sounds like Wally's got to introduce Regina then.
I love it. Good.
How does that go? How does
Takes
it
me
go
off the
again?
hotspot.
How do we do that again? There's like
Just
some,
do it.
I thought there was some kind of intro.
Oh,
Here's Regina or
Oh,
something
here's
like
Wally.
that.
I think you just had your intro.
Take it away.
I'll fly away, my darling. Okay. Go ahead, Wally.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Regina Karma on today's podcast with
Guys.
Hi, Regina.
Hi,
Hello,
how you doing?
Regina.
Regina, are you in a band?
About to be, but I sing a little bit.
She sings a little bit. That's right.
What bands do you sing with, Regina, for the people that just tripped over the podcast and fell into it?
Anybody who calls me and says, "Hey, you want to sing?" No, pretty much, I mean, really, people just call me want to book me to sing. And depends on the area they want me to go, what venue it is. And I call up musicians that I know that I work well with and say, hey, you want to work? And we plan it out, right? So it's not like I have my own specific band for Regina Karma, but but I kind of just sing all over this. But that's changing in probably close to November. I've got a bunch of guys that I'm working with, and we're trying to do a new funk soul band, and I'm excited about that. So yeah.
So what kind of music? What kind of music do you sing?
You know, I think everything reverts back to soul music. So R&B, soul, stuff like that. Yeah, mainly is what people. I think. I don't know, Wally. What do I sing, Wally?
You sing a lot of everything. Jazz is great too when you sing jazz.
I
You know,
do
with the
love jazz.
standards. Yeah.
I did jazz in Kansas City for a long time.
Country.
Country, I do every now and then. Like people expect me, I think, to do more country because I am Southern, and so.
Right.
But I like it. But my country would be more like the Judds. You know what I mean? Or something to that effect, or like old '90s country. You know, that's my favorite stuff. Randy Travis, all those guys. Trisha Yearwood, all that stuff.
I was to say, so you say you came from Kansas City. Where did you get your start? Or what? Well, first, a kind of two-part question. What got you into music, first and foremost? And second, where did you kind of start out? Where's your career started and gone to over the years?
I mean, I'm from Mississippi, born and raised.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I mean, honestly, it was one of those things to where I think my dad would say he noticed me playing, like wanting to play piano when I was like in kindergarten. So instead of being that kid that watched, you know, I played outside a lot, did my whole like, you know, making mud pie kind of thing. And because we had 100 acres of land, right? And
nice.
Cats and horses and whatever. But I would be that kid who would watch the Tony Awards. I would sit there and mimic what they were doing, or I would be that kid who learned the commercials on Saturday morning versus watching the Sparks. I wanted to be the voiceover. So I would be like, you know, that commercial, I'm walking, go down the street. I would learn all that. And I would sit there and wait for that commercial to come on because I wanted to, that was my dream, to do like commercials or something. And, but Daddy wanted me to play piano because he was like, I wanted to learn something different, right? So he put me in piano lessons at probably first grade, and I played till I got to college. And, but it was all classical music and theory. And I was like, Daddy, this is boring. Who's going to hire me for this? Like, I want to play, you know, chords and jazz and blues and whatever. And then got to college and kind of quit playing piano and started singing blues bands and stuff like that. So, like, I grew up like listening to B.B. King and gospel music. I mean, of course, Elvis was already around. Like, I think my high school teachers dated Elvis. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he was the kid down the street, right? He was from Tupelo, Mississippi. He was right down the road. Wow. And yeah, so he, the main hospital was where his house is. Right, yeah. So I think growing up, it was just church mainly. And I grew up in the Church of Christ, which was all a cappella. And I really, really got a keen ear for harmonies there, I think.
So cool.
Yeah. And
I pulled up an old video of you. It looks like with your family, and that's where I was going with I'll Fly Away, Al Brumley. That's a
where?
I don't know how many minutes we got on this, but it's recording, so I'll harmonize it.
was you.
Is it me?
I don't know. It's like 15
It
years
is now.
It is.
What was
now.
gospel? I mean, did your family all in music? Your old man, you all played, or how did
We
you get
did, like my aunt, my uncle, and everything like that. My dad sang, but I don't know if we have that together. Maybe we did.
Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong Regina. I don't know.
It could be with some friends in Arkansas. I might have done that.
Well, here, how about this? Regina
Put in the chat.
Regina opened for Gladys, Gloria, and somebody else famous we forgot to find out about. Can you fill in the blanks, Regina?
Yeah.
Air Supply.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I have a question about that. Are they really all out of love, or is that just like, is that bullshit?
Oh man.
They are
Yeah,
not.
that's what I thought.
They're
You know, for
so
years I've been
tricky.
pondering that question.
Decades.
Keep pondering, Mike.
Keep pondering.
They somehow create more dreaminess as they go on. Like,
That's right.
right?
That's
They're the
awesome.
nice. Every single one of them, y'all, like dream come trues, but they were the nicest people. You know how I'm afraid to meet people sometimes because they're gonna like maybe disappoint you.
Disappoint, yeah.
Right.
Gladys was like exactly what you imagine her to be. That girl next door. We talked about living in the South, and we had meatballs together and just talked. And Gloria was just welcoming, like a best friend. And Air Supply was like, so glad to have you back again. And because I did it twice, and I'm like, you remembered me?
That is so
Wow.
cool. You know, stay on Gladys for a second. I mean, I know
Yeah.
that's a huge inspiration for you, right? And
Yeah.
you've had an opportunity, you and I, to throw some vocals back and forth, and you've got the Gladys down. I mean, dude, it's like crazy. Did you get an opportunity to sing her music for her?
So when we were, so the way I ran into her first was they told me to be very careful, right? Because she had a bodyguard, they were very protective. And I was of course, I'm going to be very quiet. And I had when I came out of my room at the Arcada, I saw her name on the door across from me. I'm like, this is not real. Like, this cannot
cool.
be real. And I went back in my room, and then I was like, you know what? I know my way around the green room. So I was going to go grab some dinner before her band got in there, just to do it before they all came, right? And then I walk in and I see her in her pink hoodie and her glasses, and I go, oh my God. So I turn around and I leave, and her bodyguard was like, what you doing? And I go, I was just going to get some meatballs, Larry.
Ron Onesti's.
I did, yep. Ron
Yeah.
Onesti meatballs, yep. And he goes, well, go ahead and go have some dinner. But I started talking to her, and she goes, and I said, Miss Gladys, I just want to introduce myself. And she goes, I said, my name's Regina. And she said, oh, you're going to open for me. I go, oh my gosh, you know I am. And she laughed, and she was very sweet. She pulled out a chair for me. She said, what you going to sing? And I said, well, do you know how hard it is for me to sing any gig and not have one of your songs in the first 5 minutes? And she goes, well, you can sing them. They're good songs, baby. And
I'd have been like, no,
Yeah,
no
right.
way, no way.
I was like, no, ma'am, not one person in this whole house tonight came to see me sing it.
That's right.
Mhm.
We discussed it, though. We discussed what I was going to do. And she was like, that's a good one. She goes, we'll do that one instead. So it was more like Alicia Keys and Stevie and Aretha and just all
Right.
the music, you know? And I think I might have done like Boogie Oogie Woogie at the very end just to make everybody get up, like a disco song. Because the whole idea to open is to hype people up.
Exactly. Yep.
And when you start singing, you want more of the lesser song in the beginning because there's nobody in there yet, you know? And then at the end, you want to really kill it because you're wanting to make people so excited. So
That's right.
she helped me kind of go through the list. I was like, I'm doing that then.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
That's
Cool.
great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What?
Yeah, how did Regina find Wally? Regina, how did you guys get together?
You know, it's good. We're kind of still Raleigh. Well, you come into my gig, but I
Yeah.
saw Wally online singing, and I didn't put two and two together that he was the same guy that was singing in the same restaurant I had sang in. Like I knew he was there, but I didn't like know him in person. So I was
Mhm.
online watching Jeff Anthony sing because I had not met Jeff yet, and I thought he was great. And I saw Wally walk up in one of his gigs. I was like, whoa, who's this dude? And I was like, because his voice was obviously, love Wally's voice. Wally's my favorite. And so I was like a fangirl of these two guys immediately. And
I didn't even know that yet.
yeah,
And
and that's how I found him.
and then oh, go ahead.
And you saw her sitting outside your bedroom window. You're like, okay, this is weird.
I've seen a lot of people saying, and not to diss anybody else, but I was on the way to a private function that I was working at, and on the way was the restaurant we sing at. So I stopped in. I didn't know who was going to be there, but it's like, oh, there's that Regina Karma. So she gets up, she sings her first song, and at the end I go, "Oh my, thank you," really loud, "Thank you," and she just like he started laughing like. I'm like, I wasn't that mean about it, but it was just like, oh my God, you
Yeah.
could sing and you were up there performing. You're doing what you're supposed to do, no matter where you're at in a restaurant, whatever. You were just giving it your all. And I was like, oh, thank you. I enjoyed that performance.
Right.
Anyway, that
Yeah.
was it.
Now, Wally, you sung at Soldier Field, and Regina. Unless I'm looking at the wrong Regina, did you like sing the national anthem as well for the WNBA, or is that somebody
Yes.
else?
Oh, that was her.
Our national anthem, performed tonight by Regina Karma.
So that was you.
That's the right
huh?
Regina.
Who was in front of the bigger crowd?
God, probably Wally. I
No,
don't know.
what's it like singing that national anthem in front of a big ass crowd like that? Starting with you, Wally.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Ah. Um,
You nailed
You
it,
know,
of course, but
I had done Wrigley a couple times and then I did the Bears, but the Bears was just so different. It was gigantic. And it wasn't as nerve-wracking as I thought it would be because they have you get there about 9 a.m. and actually go through a rehearsal, which I didn't want to do. And then when I get to that rehearsal, the guy says to me, do you want the in-ears? I'm like, well, you know what? I'll try it with one. And I'm like, and so like the first couple notes, I couldn't even keep up. I mean, the
Bing, bing,
echo
bing,
was
bing,
so
bing.
bad.
Oh, God.
I go, yeah, I'll take them both. Give me to me. And if I would not have had a rehearsal, I think I'd have been freaking out. Like, where's my timing right now? But
Yeah.
but it was really neat. Just that amount of people in such a big bowl like that was so
Mhm.
different than at Wrigley. It was, but they were all great. Anyway, yeah, I
Yeah.
loved
how
it.
about the WNBA, Regina? Come on.
It was super cool. Like I say, it's different when you do like a baseball or football versus a basketball. I feel because I've done a few like some college ones, and you do get that slap back when you're doing like a football stadium or something because it's not really closed in. I guess for the most part, unless you're in a dome, I guess.
Yeah.
But like at WNBA, that you didn't get the slap back, so you actually really just heard it in the speakers all around you and above you. But you had to practice for sure, so you could hear yourself. You didn't need in-ears or anything. So it was just really, here's a cordless mic and go. So the NBA was a lot easier, I feel like. Our basketball stadium was a lot easier.
That's cool.
But there was a lot of people at the girls' game. Like I didn't expect it to be as big as it was, but it was packed. They're really supported, and it was cool to sing for the girls. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you get how do you get those gigs like Wally and Regina? Like how does that come about? Does someone just know you're a singer and they say, hey, we want to use you for the national anthem for this event? How do those gigs come around?
Regina, I don't know. Did you know somebody that kind of referred you? Because that's kind of how I got
Yeah, so I think the girl that was online that did books for that, she was looking for singers, I think female singers
Oh,
online.
cool.
Yeah, and so then she had messaged me in my private messages on Instagram, and I didn't really get it. I didn't see it, and so I didn't see it until like the day before. And so I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, this is lovely. Thanks for reaching out." I go, "Did you have coverage for it? Did you still need coverage?" She goes, "No, we need somebody." So I said, "Sure." So I did it one time, and the first time I did it, they had like an issue with the sound and the mic and stuff like that. So I didn't know if I'd get a call back. And so this time she called back, because I promised this time sound's going to work.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so I got the second time. So the one I posted was the second time. Yeah. So, yeah.
Nice.
Do they have a green room, or do you go in the locker room and change?
No, you walk in ready.
I love Pete's line of questioning, man. It's always just so out there. I'm going to ask a serious question. So,
Okay.
Regina, you've done a lot in your career, and we're going to talk about a few more things, but we talked about Mississippi, growing up in Mississippi. Take us through that a little bit, right? Because you and I had an opportunity at one of the Coterie practices to sit down, and I just kind of loved the story. And by the way, I love how you say daddy. I knew right away when you said daddy, that's a Southern thing, because my mom called her father daddy. I'm like, you're from the South, aren't you?
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit, and then coming into Chicago, or at least Illinois, and where that took off, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was, oddly enough, like when I started college, I didn't think I'd I didn't major in music or anything. I got a scholarship, a bit of a scholarship, to go to Ole Miss for some music, and my dad was like, take that and then just maybe get some business courses or do whatever else, right? And I was like, I don't want to go to Ole Miss. And my dad went to Ole Miss for pharmacy school, and I wanted to go to Mississippi State because I thought, let me be realistic. I'm probably never going to make it in this business. That's what I was thinking at the time. So I went to go major in biological sciences, and I was going to be a veterinarian. And they had the best, like second best vet school in the country at the time. So I went to Mississippi State, and I literally just kind of quit singing for a while. And there was always something missing, right? And so I got into a little bit more here and there. Now, back in the day when there's, we didn't have social media and stuff like that, like it was like B.B. King was still alive, right? And like all these things. And so he would come to town, and he might just show up on a random front porch and start playing a guitar and a rocking chair and drinking black coffee. And I remember seeing him the day that I saw him. I stopped in my tracks and was mesmerized at the anointed gift that he had. And I don't think you know what I mean until you actually see that person so anointed with, just like you see the rainbow of colors, right, of music, and just somebody sitting there in front porch. And I sit there, my friends were like, come on, let's go. And I was like, I'm not moving. I'm not leaving. And they're like, why? Oh my God, this guy. Go, you have no idea who you're looking at. And I was such a nerd about that. So I got, from that moment on, I was just back, it fed my soul, and I just kind of got back into listening to different music, and started doing some church group or gospel group stuff. And it was more so like the churches that I came from was like no musicians, and Baptist churches had musicians, and I liked that. But then my friends from like the soulful churches and invited me in. And they would come back to work with my dad and go, look, they would like babysit me on Saturday for church. And they'd say, this old girl can sing. And they were the first group of people that Southern Baptist Church was the first group that said, you don't need to change. You don't need to, like my churches were telling me, that's not how you do it. You shouldn't sing it that way. I was like, yeah, but that's how I feel I should sing it.
Right.
And then this group of Southern Baptist people were just like, no, you keep doing your thing, girl. And they were just, I felt so welcome. And that really helped me hone in on who I really was as a person and a kid, and who I wanted to grow up to be, and what kind of music I wanted to do. And then I did a little blues band in Mississippi, and I was part of an arts district, and I was running a coffee house, and I started booking improv nights and musicians, and I was the one booking it, but I was never part of it. And I felt, I want to be on the other side of this, right? And ended up moving to Kansas City after college, work and job. I was with someone at the time, and he was in medical school there. And so we moved together to Kansas City. And so glad I did, because it got me to a point where I knew something was missing. And I was like, well, there's got to be more to life than just working and, paying the bills and not pursuing a dream, right? My dad had always said, get a job that pays the bills and don't stop pursuing your dreams. He said, I don't care if you work at the gas station, Gene. He said, that's what he called me. He said, but get a job that pays to your dreams. So I was really, and this is deep, probably deeper than people want to hear, but I was really unhappy one day with just like life and not doing any music. And I was like, I said prayer, and I said, Lord, what do I do? And I took a right, and I was driving, and I ended up on 18th and Vine. in Kansas City, and that is the jazz district.
Wow.
Ever. And I literally,
Cool.
I am telling you, and it was a prayer that was answered within seconds. And I took a right, and all of a sudden I felt something that felt so right. And it had never felt so right. And it was a Monday night, and I had chill bumps right now telling the story. And I took a park, and I was like, that looks like a cool place. So I walked into the Blue Room, and I walked in, it was Billie Holiday and Ella, and everybody painted on the walls. And I had been doing jazz at home in my shower, right? And I thought Nancy Wilson and Ella were the two best things I'd ever heard. So I went in, and there was a big house band, 16-piece people, and they were doing a jam session. Had no idea. And they gave me the mic, and I did it last. And Since I Fell for You by Lenny Welch. And What a Difference a Day Makes by
yeah. Good one.
And maybe Moonlight in Vermont. I think Sarah Vaughan, maybe, or somebody, whoever does that. And I did those, and that's what I learned quickly what a niche was, because some of these women on the scene were such queens and divas that I realized, you don't sing this song in my place, kind of feel, you know what I mean? And you've never been here before. And then from that point on, they wrote me up in the Kansas City Chronicle as this new girl. And I was like, I'm not on the scene. Like, I don't know what that even means. And that was it. And
How fun.
I had somebody, I'm aging myself, but MySpace was a big deal, right? And I literally put music on there, and somebody said, do you want to do a band? And we formed a group called Fountain City Music Company. And Kansas City is known for more fountains than Paris. And so we named it Fountain City. We sang for free all over the place. And then somebody found me. I was in a jazz bar and singing, and somebody from Chicago was there and said, you should come sing in Chicago at the Green Mill. And
Green Mill.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was a cool thing at the time, right? I just knew Kansas City's jazz scene. And but the first place I ever sang was Green Dolphin Street.
What year was that?
Oh, Green Dolphin, yeah.
Regina,
I think I came, my first gig here was in 2006 or 7.
Okay.
So a long time ago. And gosh, the moment I came to Chicago, I remember September 6th, 2006, somewhere in there, sang to the Green Dolphin, and was just in love with Chicago.
I feel like I was in there about the same time.
Yeah.
Doing a gig with
such a
big
cool little
band.
scene before it became like a dive bar.
Yeah, I know. It's so true.
But that was my first gig, but I sang with people like our gang. Robert Davis of our gang was my first buddy, and John Anthony Natali, who sings a lot with Ron, and gosh, that whole group was my first little clique. And then Joe Crispino gave me my first little connections here, and it was just that circle that was such a cool little thing to walk into, of the Frank Sinatra circle is what I called it.
Right.
And I sang at Green Mill once, and never again. And I sang at Green Dolphin, and never again. And then that's how I got to Chicago. And I just remember from 2006 and 7, I did anything I could to do more gigs in Chicago.
So did you move to Chicago in 2006, 7?
No, I moved to Chicago in 2008.
Okay. So you were going back and forth, getting gigs, heading back. Okay.
Yeah, and it was so cheap. Remember, like back then, it was like $45 for a want to get away flight.
Right.
Right? Let us know Southwest.
Exactly.
And it was then recession hit, right? And then
just before.
Then things went crazy high after that. And by that time, I was like, it makes sense to move to Chicago, because the company I was working for was, that I had my paycheck from was here. And called 1154 Lil Studio. Is on 900 North Michigan Avenue, and it was the first custom handbag design company ever created. And I was working for them, and I moved here and started singing all the time. It was just got booked. My first gig the night I moved here, and I'll give them a shout out. The night I moved here, my first gig was on North Avenue, Elmwood Park. It was kind of like this place I kind of did everything. And Angelo Lolino of Elmwood, who owned Masa. They had pizzas in Mariano's now. They had all the Mariano's had Vero coffee, VERO coffee, before Kroger bought them. That was his coffee place. And so he owned a sushi restaurant. and I sang on the streets right there in 2008.
That's
So
Cool.
the very night I moved here, I threw my crap in my place, and the dogs locked them up and ran to the gig.
I think I know where that place is. Yeah,
Yeah.
right on North Avenue in
Right
Melrose
on
Park.
Johnny's Beef. And-
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
hilarious.
So everything got started right there in Elmwood, and there was Joe Crispino, who's a lawyer in Elmwood Park. He had a recording studio in the back of his offices, and we all recorded music there. And
Wow.
that's where it all started. Mississippi to Kansas City, and I love Kansas City. It's a special place, and Chicago for a long time now.
Well, you bring up Green Mill. Quick shout out to Dave Jemelo. Used to be a middle linebacker for the USFL Blitz. He got in there and picked up that place at a song, kept it unique. Do you guys remember the Deja Vu on Lincoln Avenue?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I grew
And
up. I grew up right around the corner from that
Yeah,
place.
turtle races. Yeah, he sold the VU, kept the Green Mill, but he kept all that nostalgia and jazz and
Awesome.
all that for all this time. So, Dave, shout out. We're going to bring you on the show. Continue,
Ooh, that's a
Regina.
good one.
Sorry, I
Good
go on
one.
my tangents every now and
No,
then.
we need those tangents every now
It is your show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's yours.
It's our show. Kumbaya, baby.
Well, I love it because
All
we're all like
right.
just mesmerized by this story because, this is great. We don't usually get a guest that takes us on this type of journey. Or we talk about how we grew up in the Chicago music scene and how we played
Right.
this club or originals versus covers. But to have someone that's actually relocated here, you come in with a different perspective, and it's for me, it's like I'm doing this. Where's my popcorn? Because I'm
It's
like
awesome.
pulled in right now.
Regina is so awesome. She's such a great person deep down inside too, and I'm
Thank you,
saying it right
Wally. I
now.
appreciate
And that's all. I remember Wally when we were putting the Motown show together. You were one of the first people that I reached out to do that, and you said you got to get Regina Karma.
Right
I'm
away.
like, "Who?"
Right
And
away.
what was my question? I go, "Who is Regina Karma?"
Yeah,
And you go,
you'll
"You
know."
gotta check." I think you sent me a link to her, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"We gotta get Regina Karma." I was like, "Yeah,
That is a great movie name.
yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It is."
It was fun. I remember Wally came to me and said, "Hey, there's just like at first he described it as like a R&B soul thing." I'm like, if you're doing it in this R&B and soul, I'm in. Like,
Right.
that's it. So I mean, honestly though, but since Wally's here, I'll say that I've sang with so many great people that really helped me. Robert Davis of our gang being the first like soul buddy partner, in Chicago, and we call each other Godiva and White Chocolate. And I can say that because we talk to each other all the time. But he helped him and Frank Nadell of the Village Pub and John Anthony and they were all Joker Speeder. They were all telling me the things, you should sing this, you should sing that. I was such a sponge because I sang a lot of jazz and I sang a lot of things that felt good, but I was intimidated to sing things like Gladys Knight. I was not doing that until I came here, and
Wow.
And I had to learn Midnight Train to Georgia. I mean, I knew the song, but I didn't think I should sing that song. Yeah.
I love that song.
But now since I've worked with so many people, Wally, when I heard his voice, I'm like, the way he styled it was the first person I'd heard that we could sing together, and the way we styled the run or the phrasing of that was exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
It was really weird. And I just want
Weird.
to jump in and say that I realize now why that happened early on is because like when we do stuff, like the stuff that we like, the music that we like, it's like all the same thing.
It's all the same thing.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
We talk about it all the time, and
Like songs you wouldn't even think of from way back. She's like, oh my God, I love that song. Or she'll like say, have you heard this? Remember this one? I'm like, oh my God, I love that one. So did I. And she's not just saying it. It's like,
Right,
and I'm not
right.
just saying it.
I
It's
mean,
like,
I got send him random reels like going, oh my God, we got to do this one. I forgot about it. And he's like, yeah, we got a whole list of things we got to learn. But I mean, it was just like when we sang on the first time on the stage together, I think we sang Baby Come to Me. Baby Come to Me. Yeah. And
yeah, that's right.
we'd never sang together. I was
Love
like,
Jane
but we
Ingram.
knew the song, and I had learned it solo because I had no duet partner. And he got up and he knew his part. And so I was so used to doing it my way, I had to back off that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The parts we were doing together, the chorus and the harmonies, just the harmonies were correct, but the phrasing was every note we were on the same.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was weird. We followed each other.
It was great. I was like, yeah, this is the first person that I've ever meshed this well with vocally, and it gets what I'm trying to say in a vocal way.
And
awesome.
and I know that you've done a lot of backup vocals for a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And that experience, I have that too, but I was in like a couple wedding bands where there were 4 singers, so you had to find a part, or you could find the part if somebody else took it away from you or whatever.
Right.
But
you couldn't find it. You could hear it.
But your ear gets so much. It's all all that. It's all practice. Like
It trains you after a while.
It trains you.
It opens up a lot of things in different schemas of singing with that. I agree with you completely on that, Wally. It's great to have that experience with that.
Yeah.
Well, that's something, CBob, I know, I've played it, jammed enough with you, just nailing those harmonies. That's something you pride yourself on. And I know with your band Rok Brigade, we're not here to talk about that, but you've been kind of the constructor of that, putting those harmonies together, working with the other guys in the band, because you know how important it is to have those backing vocals. And that's with any band. I mean, I know there's a lot of bands that do the gang stuff, but if you could truly pull that off, or you have those just perfectly, that's what makes the difference.
It does.
But to have it out of the gate, as Wally and Regina are saying, is very rare.
Very rare.
That's fantastic.
Very rare, right? And so, I mean, I think that when you're doing, like, harmonies are so special, and I think that goes back all the way to Church of Christ. Growing up, there were no musicians, and you were learning to read the hymnals with like the triangle notes and all the different things, all the things, and you would hear you'd hear that one guy or lady that just did not have it.
Right.
And you're like, oh God, I'm gonna die. And then we formed a group called Agape, and I was like the little kid in the group. I was like the little Michael Jackson in the group, and I was doing these strange things to these songs. Like I was rearranging Amazing Grace, and I was doing all these different things, and they were like, okay, we can work with that. Let's do that. And we rewrote. I was rearranging songs at like 11 years old.
That is so cool.
But I didn't know.
I believe it.
I know it was strange. I mean, people thought it was strange. I'm like, I thought I was a cheerleader too, right? I was that crowd in high school. I remember waking up the next day with this new idea. I remember going to school going, oh my gosh, to my best friend. I go, Kristen, I found out a new way to rearrange, Black and White by Michael Jackson. And she looks at me like, I'm so
it's funny because you were talking.
That's another good tune.
You were talking about your experience with BB King being anointed. You have that. I mean, there are people like Wally, and I know CBob. You're born with just that, right? I mean, you get it. At the end of the day, you understand music, and you can't explain how you do it. It just happens.
It just happens. So people go, "Where did you learn how to do that?" I go, "I really don't know. Can't tell you. I just know that it felt right, and I did it." And I remember there's key people in life. The 2 people I will never forget. And again, you get chills when you say it because it's that Holy Spirit kind of feeling, right?
Yeah.
It is. I remember doing a country song, and I thought about it today, and it's so weird that I'm bringing it up. Do you guys remember that song? I don't remember the title, but I never Googled it today. It was there's a tree out in the backyard that never has been broken by the wind. And then there's a bunch of layers of harmonies. And I was adding something that wasn't in the song. And I was like 12 years old or something. And these people I was working with, they were like a really family group in Mississippi. And they were like, oh, that's good. Why don't we do that? Right? So hold on, what is this?
Is it Beth Neal's Strong Enough to Bend?
Yes, that is it. Strong Enough to Bend. And
ChatGPT.
I was wondering. I saw you looking up.
I was watching CBob's eyes. They were like this. Got it.
Well, and there was such a bunch of layers, and I kept adding other layers to it. They were like, "Oh, let's do that. Let's do that." And it was just that first camaraderie, that first rearrangement that people go, she really understands harmonies. And that's the first time I ever felt, oh, somebody thinks this is good. And then another time I was singing at a Christmas show, and I think it was a junior high. And I don't know, I can't think she was a music teacher. I can't remember now. Miss Stevens, all I know is her name was Miss Stevens. And I was singing Chestnuts, roasting up for the Christmas song. And And I remember, I will never forget, the room was dark. There was like a light, like it was a lounge kind of room. And it was high school kids doing music. And I remember when she got up and I sang, she came up and put her hands on my face and goes, oh, like she just did something that made me feel special. And I will never, ever forget that feeling. My heart melts every time I think about it. I will never forget her face. And I just knew it was good. She didn't have to say anything. And I knew that maybe I should do some more of this, right?
Yeah.
And it just became, and I was through the whole Whitney Houston era and Celine Dion. So those were people that I wanted to be like, you know? So yeah.
Regina, what is the Kansas City music scene like compared to the Chicago scene? And after you get done answering that question, have you done the Nashville scene yet? Because you can't go 2 feet without bumping into a talented musician there. I'm just curious what the different cities are like.
Yes, I've done them all, but they when I lived in Kansas City, gosh, okay, so Kansas City is a very small music scene, but very artistic, kind of a mix between, like, if you were to go to Austin and Chicago, like mix, there's a big jazz scene. It's so different group of people than this alternative scene, right? And so you've got every genre there, but they've now made these big music. When I was leaving, they were creating these big music venues now that are booked with huge people right in the middle of the city. Jazz is not so much the main thing there anymore, but now that whole area is historical, right? So they have the Baseball Hall of Fame there, they have the Jazz Museum, all that kind of stuff. But I would say now it's really a hodgepodge, but very eclectic and artistic, and kind of a group of like Austin city limit meets, you know, the Austin downtown area kind of thing, feel. With a little bit more of a city or urban side to it. But it's not big at all. It's just special. That's all I can say. It's very special. And a lot of people get their starts there. And when they first start getting big, Kansas City is the place they always get booked first and get noticed. When I was there, Yahoo did this big thing one day. It was this big competition to where a bunch of us were online. So how I found out about this was I went online one day to get some karaoke tracks because I needed some to practice with and whatever. And I found a little website called singonline.com. And I was like, okay, that's intriguing. So I clicked on that, and it took me to this whole karaoke website where you could sing with anyone from all over the world. And that was the first, when you think about Shmuel and apps now, that was the first where they were beta testing all of these things. So I was on something called Sing Snap and karaoke version, or I can't remember the name of it. Singonline.com was what it originally was. And all these people were there. So we got noticed online, you know, of being these singers, and got asked, hey, do this competition. Yahoo's doing this, or there's something called Bix.com. And I was part of a competition and got in the top 15 to go to Nashville. And they really wanted real country singers. And when I got in that scene, I was like, my God, these people are good, right? And that really makes you take a step back and go, how do I refocus where I'm going to be? Because I did not sound like them, even though I was from Mississippi. It was so much more soulful than it was country. And it's so you were with people who sounded exactly like Merle Haggard and Randy Travis. And the guy that won was just like this beautiful velvety voice. And it was just something that came up and went away. And so that scene is, in my opinion, there's a little bit of darkness to that scene out there. And what I mean by this, fun, Nashville's fun. But if you want to make it, at the time I was out there, if you wanted to really make it, you had to sleep on the street. You had to find, you know, you didn't get paid any money. You had to really grovel your way around. And you had to might do some things, you sell your soul to the devil a little bit. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not selling my soul. So I went back to Kansas City and loved it and loved Chicago. I was not a big fan of the Nashville music scene.
I befriended some people in Nashville that went through that. They were, one guy, he had 5 gigs in a day, and he made a total of $80 that day.
Oh,
yeah. Their bands are playing that they would get paid only the tip jar.
Yeah.
And it's
They're
definitely
so good.
Great musicians, don't get me wrong.
No,
but there's
Amazing.
such a
Sad.
competition out there.
So
You know,
sad.
and
You got to
just very
really
low
want it,
people.
man. I mean, if you're going to struggle and, put yourself out there like that, you got to really, really
Very desperate to what Regina is
And be
saying.
young.
Yeah.
It screamed
be young.
desperation. Yeah, and be young. But it screamed like desperation, right?
Yes, you're
with
right.
people.
But I was so Capitol Records was the one funding this, and so when we would go to when you go to karaoke bars they're scouts, right?
Yeah.
And so you went to karaoke. We went to Wannabes and some
Not the
other.
one I went to.
I don't know. Well, I went. I don't want to hear about this another time.
Was that a
I
Chuck E.
know.
Cheese
See you
karaoke bar?
later. Yeah. I saw some mechanical guys, I don't know. Okay. Sorry,
It
Regina.
was a different podcast.
I know. I guess I'd go.
But
ahead.
no, I was
You're
in
right.
this one karaoke club that had like this glass wall, and people walked by and saw you on the stage. And the girls that were doing were the KJs, and they were gorgeous. They were hot, and they danced on bars and all this kind of. I'm like, I am not that girl. And but the Capitol Records people would come in and they would tip the KJs $100 bills to get us moved up first, so we could sing in front of people. And so I was like, this is how it works. So these KJs were making us stay.
Wow. Wow.
They wanted to get paid, and the Capitol Records knew that, so their CEOs would pay the girls $100 of bills.
Oh, this is wild.
Never knew that.
Yep, and then they would literally bump us up, and and then they wanted us to hurry up and hear us. So there were people that they invited to hear us, and because the sound system might have been great there or something like that.
That is crazy.
It was just selling us. It was selling the show. It was selling the competition. And it was so weird to walk into Nashville and see your face on a billboard that was advertising a competition. You're like, what am I doing? I didn't even know this is what it was. Or on a flyer or something. And he'd walk by and somebody go, oh my God, I'm like, this is insane. I want to go inside, because I'd never felt that before. And so it was very like money.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yes, it's about the music, but not as much as you would think it would be.
So can I ask a question on that though? Did it feel like when you were in that contest though, that you were just a filler and they already had people they were interested in, and that's why they were moving them up with cash?
Well, they were moving me up there too.
So okay.
Yeah. So they had.
Oh, I thought you were saying you felt. Okay,
no.
sorry.
I felt very
Good.
I felt very
Wanted.
special.
Yeah.
It was very special, but I also felt very like a little game piece.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was weird. It's a weird feeling. And all I can say is it didn't feel good and wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody wanted to get you drinks and then take you back to their place, and all that. It was that kind of a feel. Whereas in Chicago, it was, you're so supported and so loved, and so like it wasn't the Music City, but it felt like home. And I knew the way the world was going with it being on the internet, right, online, and we were going to be able to do bigger things, right? So
It's neat to hear you say that about our area as opposed to others, because yeah, man, we just feel for one another here. That's it.
It's special.
It wasn't always like that, but it's been that way for the past 20 years, I'll say.
It's changed quite a bit. You're right, CBob.
Yeah.
And so if you don't mind, I want to ask about that a little bit. So, and I asked the same question of Pino. I asked it of Jeff Anthony. We talked about it with Wally. You're starting to, or I'm seeing your name a heck of a lot more out here in the suburbs, right, Regina? You've been a Chicago artist, but we're starting to see this. You're getting really active out in the suburbs. Talk a little bit about how that transition, when it started, and are you starting to feel it too outside of Chicago?
So, I mean,
maybe I'm way off. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just seeing more Regina Karma in the last 2 years than I've ever seen. And maybe because I'm looking for it more. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think the way, I would say probably 2000, and I'm going to give him a lot of credit here, but so let me go back to when I lived downtown, and I lived right above DuSable Harbor. Like my view was the water, right, and Navy Pier. And so I remember being out walking one day and seeing a little restaurant on the DuSable Harbor by the yacht club. And I was like, do you guys do music here? I thought I saw a jazz band and everything. And I gave him like, I don't know, a USB thing or a CD or whatever I had. I came back and gave it to them because they were right under my building. They're like, yeah, we'd love to book you. So all of a sudden, I started singing there every Wednesday and Saturday night for fireworks, right? Because the city
Venetian night, Venetian.
Yeah. So
Well, they do it every Wednesday
night,
and
yeah.
Saturday.
every Wednesday, Saturday, the city just does fireworks, random, just
Yeah.
whatever. So I would sing at that harbor, but they would do the Coast Guards, they would do the fireworks from there. And we would sing and have people join us sometimes or whatever. And more people from downtown started seeing me, and you would get really nice, well-paid gigs randomly, like the buildings or whatever. But really, my bread and butter was the burbs, because even though it took me a long time to get out of Upper Randolph, right? It took me half an hour to get to the highway. I would work with Chicago Prime Steakhouse. I'd work with, Taverna. I'd work with all these different restaurants. The restaurants were the ones that got us recognized, because you're sitting in a group of people that aren't paying a ticket to be there. They're not randomly walking through a city and they're tourists. There are locals in that area who eat at that place frequently.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And they notice you and tell you about them to another favorite restaurant, and that's really, truly, and Tony Ocean helped me get noticed too. So Tony's been around forever, and I remember
Yes,
living
he has.
downtown, and I got to meet him at, first time ever when he worked at Jilly's. He monopolized Jilly's, right? And I remember getting a taxi and saying, going, I'm going to Jilly's before this place closes, and going to see Tony. And he wanted to work with me for years, but my father and my sister were both pretty sick within like 2015 to 17. So I really focused a lot with that and sang when I wasn't with them to make money. So I didn't have a day job. I was Joe Crispino, who originally got me to Chicago. He was booking me at Gibson's in Rosemont every Wednesday, Thursday, and Chicago Prime had me every other Friday, Saturday. They were the kind of people that said, here's a calendar, put your name wherever you want, because my dad was real sick and my sister got real sick, and they both passed. And so I feel like when 2016 hit, 17 was when Kim passed, I was like, I'm okay, time to go, right? I had been doing it in Chicago for a long time, but I called Tony and I said, let's go, let's do this, I'm ready. And it was Tony Ocean that literally got me noticed in 17. And then between 17 and 22 was Gladys Knight. And I was like,
Hey, Regina, what years did you sing at, what year did you sing at Gibson's in Rosemont?
up into 2018, 18, 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I
And
used to do that. I used to do Saturdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, but that was like 10 years prior. But
yeah, they did that. I did.
that's a cool place, though.
Yeah, they did the piano for a while, and you couldn't just get in there, right?
Right.
So you had to be like, I had a bunch of the wise guys getting me in, right? And so they were like, I got a girl, right? And so Crispino and Angelo Lalina, who my first,
Oh yeah, yep.
they
Right.
were having drinks there one night and told the owner, we got a girl, don't worry about it.
So, did you sing at the piano?
Yeah, I sang by the piano.
So
Wow.
listen, really quick. I know this is your thing. Back when I was there, like '08, oh my gosh, there was still smoking in Gibson's. And these guys, these old guys would come up with the cigars while I'm in them. They're like, hey, could you sing this song? And I'd be like, yes, but let me just warn you ahead of time that if I breathe in deep and have to gasp to sing something, I might cough. I would just lay jokes on these guys like, oh my gosh, that was so healthy. That was such a healthy time. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They obviously didn't have cigarettes when I was there, but but you never knew who was going to walk into Gibson's, right?
Oh, I know. That's right.
R. Kelly came in one night, and then you got Rod Stewart, and then you got whatever. You just like, oh, you're in that little window. There's a little window behind the piano, and you just be like, and look at it, who's coming in. Like you sang in the bar, and they controlled the house music, and you could have one speaker facing you, and it was a great time because Wednesdays and Thursdays at Rosemont, I made money.
It's hopping, yeah.
The convention center, people traveling to the airport.
Yep.
The hotel is behind it.
Especially the travelers, yeah.
Travelers, and then Live Pete did. He's somebody you should probably have on the show too if you haven't had him. But Live Pete would do Saturdays and Sundays at Rosemont, and they would be like, if one of you can't make it, you have to cover for each other because we're not booking anybody else. It's just you two.
Wow.
And I'm like, so I remember taking a Saturday night and having to cancel something else for that. And I told Pete, I'm like, you can have weekends here. Like Wednesdays and Thursdays are where it's at. It was just so much money because I mean, I felt bad for having to clean the tip jar out. Like I felt bad for the
Don't
people
feel
that
too
work-
bad.
Nah,
For the
She's
people that
just
work-
lying.
we're still trying to figure out how to monetize this show, so don't feel bad.
Demonetizes in the first 5 minutes.
That's
Need
funny.
advertisers.
Shout out to Greg Harand, the old Gibson's guy in Rosemont. Opened up the Gregory, I want to say Naperville or somewhere around there. Big shout out. Shout out to Jose working the bar over at Rosemont Gibson's.
I love that
Continue,
you know
Regina.
That sounds familiar. I think I know that guy. He's still there.
They're
Yeah.
all old school people. All old school people.
Cool.
Just like us, except Regina.
Oh, and Regina Beth Miller told me to say hi.
Yes.
Hi, Beth. She's the
Yeah.
sweetest.
I'll tell her you say hi back. I'm going to
That's
see
a
her
superstar.
Saturday.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
she's awesome.
Regina,
told-
do you know Beth?
Do I-
How do you know Beth, Regina?
She got you on this show.
Literally, she's the one that asked me to do this.
Yes.
I got to give a shout out to Beth too. She came out and helped me at the moon reunion this weekend. Had no idea who they were, right? I mean, she might have talked to them when we booked them out on the show, but she dropped everything she was doing on a Saturday to come help me do
Yeah,
some
I saw
fundraising.
that.
She's such a sweetheart. She's
Sweet.
amazing.
I mean, so encouraging. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Support
I
the
love
scene,
her.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great energy. She's
Yep.
good
Great
people.
optimism. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Regina, I've got a question for you, a little bit
Okay.
off topic. So, you've been doing this for a while. You answered one of my questions. What was your most memorable moment? What was your funniest moment or odd moment that took you back that you kind of look back and laugh at now?
There's so many.
Look, just
mean-
one off the top of your head.
You can make one up.
Well, I feel like, gosh, it could be anything, anywhere I'm saying.
Anywhere.
Gosh, I feel like some of them were Gibsons,
Really?
a lot of them. But I mean, it was one of those things to where, okay, what was really funny was that when I did Gladys, the show for Gladys, and after it was over with, I didn't know what to do. Like, you know, you check a chicken with your head cut off, right? Like,
Right.
and I go, well, I'm gonna go back downstairs. I had a friend of mine with me he was at the event, and I was like, text him like, just come back downstairs. I'll meet you at the door. And he came back down there. I'm like, oh my, what do I do now? I changed. And what do I like? I'm sweaty, you know. And Miss Gladys, they remember pre to this, they're like, you know, be careful, well, you know, whatever. And so Ron had her back in 18. He never got to meet her because they were so protective, right? And so she was super cool, but she came out of her room and she's like dressed in a jacket. She's freezing and I'm sweating. And she comes up to me and she's like, baby, you did that. And I was like, oh my gosh, she said, am I recording this? And but you know, as I've been told to be so careful, she goes, well, come on. And she gives me her hand like that. And I grab her hand and I go, where are we going to get drinks? And she goes, yeah, we're going to get some drinks. And so the door opens because that's the only way up, right? From the green room. And Ron Onesti is standing right there because he's not going to miss her this time, right? And he sees us holding hands. And he looks at me, he goes, like he's and
I could
How the
just
hell
see
did that happen?
like I've never even met her, and here you are besties with her, right? And so I thought that was really funny. And I was
So
like,
Ron.
and I gave him a hug, and I was like, whispered to him, like, you have no idea. This is a dream. I'm like, and we laugh, and he goes, yeah, because he goes, where are you going? And then I go, upstairs. He goes, oh my God, go have the best time in the world. So they invited me to go see the whole show from upstairs. But I think the funny thing was, the funniest was to see his face when that door
Ron?
opened and we were holding hands.
Was that Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
I could just see that.
And he was just about to die. And I thought it was so, but it was so endearing at the same time. He was so
Right.
happy for me, but so like, what? That was probably one of the funniest. But I feel like one of the most awkward and like strange times. I mean, I don't know if it was embarrassing because I don't know if I can. I think when something's embarrassing, I joke it off really easy. So I think one of the kind of strangest times was at Gibson's when you had a Wednesday night and you were being told, you know, like you had bunch of different people asking you to come back to the hotel room and all this kind of, and I stood there at that piano and didn't
Oh,
move,
wow.
right?
Oh.
And because Gibson's was like, they bothering you? I'm like, no, it's fine. But they would tell you, the bartender would say, turn it up, because he was making more money if it was fun and loud. But the manager was like, oh, turn it down, Regina. And I was like, who do I listen to? And there was like 6 different managers of different areas telling me to turn it up, turn it down, sing this, sing that. And it was just like one of those moments where a lot of roosters in the hen house, right? And you didn't know who to answer. So I was like, this is not gonna last forever. Like they're gonna fire me, And so it was just one of those moments to where it was such a party on a Wednesday or Thursday night that they wanted you to calm it down because they didn't want it to be that, and it was. So it was hard to balance it all. So it was kind of one of those moments where you're like, what do I do? Cringe, kind of like, I'm just gonna sit here and press play and just, why don't you control it?
There you
Yeah,
go.
right.
So, but I don't know about embarrassing. I can't recall a really embarrassing moment unless it was in Kansas City when I forgot the words to I Will Survive
Oh boy.
by Gloria Gaynor. And then, speaking of that, which is a really cool story, I forget the words and and I end up opening for her later in life, 3/6. I swear I'd never sing that song again. And then Ron, yeah, right. And Ron texted me one day, and I did, of course I did. I wanted to make up for it. But Ron texted me, you want to open for Gloria? And I thought he meant like a tribute. I'm like, like a tribute? And he goes, no, Gloria Gaynor. And I go, yes. And so I get to open for her. And then, of course, I've learned the song a million times over now. But it turns out I just got back from Kansas City for a visit and revisiting the green room, the blue room, after 15 years, right? And her main backup singer, Harvey Johnson, we talked about Kansas City, he lives there. He said, when did you sing in the blue room? And I said, like 2006, 5, 7, and somewhere in there. He goes, really? He goes, oh my God. I go, shut up. He was the guy that was there.
Wow.
The night that I walked in having that bad day going, God, what do I do? And
Wow.
he was the guy that invited me and said, come sing with me here, here, and here.
Wow.
He goes, I wondered whatever happened to you. And I go, after the show, I was crying. Harvey and I are friends on Facebook now, and we're going to do gigs. We'll put a gig in Kansas City together. But he travels with her and stuff, and he's her main guy. And he was the one that I walked into. And it just goes to show you, I mean, God, to me, obviously I believe in God. But if you don't believe in it, there's something out there bigger than us, that is a bigger energy than us. That is, and for me, it's God. And that is, there's a bigger plan. And you don't know to trust it because it's so hard to trust it when you don't want to. But if you just do, and I know I'm preaching here, but with a little tiny mustard seed of faith, it takes you 360 back to right where you're supposed to be. And for all the people that ever tore me down, and there were many that said you're too big to be on stage, or you're not pretty enough, this enough. People who did that, they would tear you down really bad, could. But that if you just stay strong and believe in that gift that is housed in you, not yours, and deliver it the way you're supposed to deliver it, then the gifts that come after that will put you right back together in front of the people who tore you down. And I'm a walking testimony of it, and I won't go into who it is, but it's people that really, really hurt me, and are mad at their own world that I
Trying to drag people down with themselves, right?
Yeah,
Hey, Regina, you're getting a big amen out of me right now, man. I hear that loud and clear. I'm serious, man. I'm getting goosebumps listening to you talk. That's awesome.
No one ever erected a statue to honor a critic.
That's true.
That's true.
Regina, where are you playing at? And everybody, we're at last call for alcohol. You don't have to go home. You can't stay here. If you have something to bring up, now's the time to bring it up. And don't
hold on, Pete. Hold
don't
on,
touch
Pete.
The
I got my
there we go.
question.
The Bongo Mike segment.
Bongo's got a question.
Yeah. See, Regina, this is the part of the show where the fans want to know about you, right? So I got some questions here.
You wrote them down. All right.
Well, everybody wrote in. They want to know. So, Regina, favorite ice cream?
Cookies and cream.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
I can
pull.
understand that.
Favorite romantic movie?
The bridges of Madison County.
Wow.
Nice
Wow.
one.
He's got those answers
Well
like
done.
this.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Look at her. Whip smart. Okay, last question. First concert you ever saw?
Oh God.
It could be it could be rock. It could be a symphony.
Muppets.
Whatever.
It left an impression, that's for sure.
The first one,
Ma-
the first real one that comes to mind is Kelly Clarkson.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
When I saw her in Kansas City, I mean, I think I've seen things before that, but up until that point, nothing made an impact.
Wait, but was it at a moment like this?
she made everyone that moment. I knew that song like the back of my hand.
I'll bet.
But she was in Kansas City, and I went to see her, and I was just like, I just want to do this for the rest of my life, right? So I still manifest a moment where I'm going to meet my southern sister, you know. And
I just want to go on record by saying I saw Kelly Clarkson with my kids, and we still talk about that concert. And that was over 20 years ago. She was amazing.
Oh, her voice is
That's what it
amazing.
was.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It had to be, I mean, gosh, it had to be 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. I mean, we go to Iron Maiden concerts too, and we talk about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
Was
definitely
it
talk
better
about
than your Coldplay concert?
Hey, no kiss and tell here, pal.
Regina, where are you playing? You want to ask a Pop-Tart question, Bongo Mike, before I go?
Yeah, sure.
Question.
Pop-Tarts, love them or hate them?
I love Pop-Tarts. I
Favorite
can't have them anymore because I'm trying to go gluten-free. I have to, but
Toasted or non-toasted?
Oh.
you know, as a little kid, you just grab them and get on the school bus, right?
That's
But as an adult, if I had one, they'd definitely be toasted.
okay.
You know, this is a trip because Debbie and I were having this exact Pop-Tart conversation Saturday afternoon on the couch. We had the Pop-Tart conversation.
Wow.
What's y'all's favorite? What's your favorite flavor?
I like the strawberry,
Three.
and then second is whatever that maple brown sugar, whatever.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
second.
I
Brown
like the
sugar,
chocolate
cinnamon.
stuff like that, but
I'm a strawberry guy, and with
Yeah.
those
Cherry for me,
strawberry.
for blueberry. Yep.
blueberry, yeah,
blueberries are good, man.
Blueberry.
Yep, that was right up there too. I'm not into the weird flavors, you know. After in the 90s, they started getting really crazy. But anyway, let's get back to it.
I'm
Pete.
glad we kept everybody on the edge of their seat. Regina, where are you playing at next?
I'll be Friday night, the 2nd. I'll be at Cephalou in, was that El Grove? For the first time. So Cephalou is like a seaside Italian place by the Belvedere banquet halls. And my first time there. Beautiful spot. But yeah, my first night there ever. So come on out. Need this.
Any August dates? The show's going to come out a week.
I'll be at Taylor Street on August 15th with Tony Ocean. Friday night, we're closing out the festival. This is one of the best nights to be there. After that, I think I'm going to be out of pocket for a little bit because I'm going to be working on some stuff. I told Mike this, so I'll tell everybody else. I got the job to be a backup singer for Gino Vannelli.
What?
Very cool.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for me to leave.
You're my friend.
What?
You
Yeah,
know
we're
how much
talking about
how
this
could you
now?
say that here? You know how much I love him.
I know
God.
you do, and I didn't know you were going to be
Bastard.
here. I was
Oh,
going to,
that's true.
Wait a minute. You told me before you told Wally.
yeah.
Oh, I feel
It
so
takes-
blessed.
Heartbroken.
Wait, is this breaking news,
Because
Regina?
I knew, what'd you say?
This is breaking news?
Yeah, I know.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yes. So but the first show is going to be October 11th. So I will be doing that at the Arcado with Ron. So Ron Onesti helped me with that. And so he called me. I talked to Gino's brother Ross yesterday, the day before. It was great. We're big dog lovers, and we are getting things moving, and it's official. And so I don't know how many shows I'll do, but I know I'll start that one and see.
That's
But
awesome.
Somebody just saw this show and he's like, oh my God, she's awesome. How do I book her?
He literally just messaged me on Instagram or Facebook, Regina Karma. Just find me on social media, message me.
Okay.
I don't really do a website. I don't have a big YouTube channel. I just
Yeah, marketing's overrated.
I just sing and post it.
Who needs money?
Wally, let's give you some pub for showing up. What you got cooking up in the future? August,
Saturday,
September.
Beth Miller's coming out to see Tom York and I do a duo at Geneva Commons. That's
Nice.
Saturday, 5 to 7. She said you guys should all come out. but I'm sure you'll have a gig. Anyway, and let's see. I have a couple weeks after that too because I'm going on vacation. So, but no public shows. A lot of private stuff right now.
That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Where the money is, baby.
Sure is.
And the churches pay. Chris CBob, what's up, man? My favorite.
I got
engineer.
a couple Def Leppard shows. The Rok Brigade is the first at Side Outs, and I think the 9th is at the Fords, the outdoor Adventureland Park or something like that. So
Great.
I was going to
place.
try and see you guys at Side Outs. I was going to try and see.
yeah, ping me, Wally, and we'll talk about you going to
Okay.
Weber High. So
Oh yeah,
Weber.
that's right.
I did that. I was a couple years after that for summer school.
Ooh,
We'll talk
that's
later.
so funny. Okay.
I worked with in Chicago went to Weber. I hear it all the time.
Yeah, Ron
Weber's
Onesti.
closed. Yeah.
Ron, everybody.
Ron Onesti went.
Onesti
Rich.
went to Weber?
Yeah.
No
Rich.
kidding.
They learn to
I-
make grills there.
They have the best summer school. Chris Rhodes. Rhodes,
Oh,
you
I
go
was
summer-
there. I went to summer school there too.
Oh man, I love
Between
statistics
8th and
all 3
freshman
times I
year.
took it.
It's a lot of summer school, buddy.
Rhodesy,
Yo.
where are you going to play? Are you for hire? Do you know how to play the drums?
I am for hire. Actually, I'm rehearsal mode. I got friction rehearsals on the horizon with Mikey D.
Oh yeah,
And of
October.
course, we got the Yacht Rock coterie around the corner that I have to
Right.
make sure I keep my chops up for.
Oh, nice. Bongo Mike, how are the bongos? How they hanging?
No, they're still there. August 8th, Friday, August 8th, Full Tilt Friday at one of our favorite venues, Sundance Saloon, 7 to 10 p.m. The Mosquitos. That's the next one on the docket.
And then Mike Dermont, I know you got a condo board meeting to go to. What you
Yeah,
got coming
so I
up?
got to head. Well, I got for work. I've got to head to Detroit on Wednesday, back Thursday night. Then Friday, Debbie and I are flying down to Florida for a couple days, see the family and all that good stuff. But on September 28th, Sunday, at the Vixen, the Coterie is proud to announce we're doing the Yacht Rock show featuring Regina Karma and Wally and Jeff
Wally.
Anthony. We've got a great show planned for that. Now we're going to start getting into the rehearsal. So September 28th, Sunday at the Vixen, Yacht Rock.
Is that all
2
locked down
p.m.
already, Mike? Or is
Are you looking for a little fun, Chris? I might be. You know what? Let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's see. We can
Always
always
a fun
work
event.
something out. Yeah,
Cool.
Sneak a couple of videos for us girls over here so we can see what's
That's it,
going
man.
on over there.
it's going to be a
Chris-
great show.
Chris, tell Marty I say hi.
hi? Tell Tony Ocean we all said hi, by the way, Regina. But
Absolutely, I will. And I want to see this I Fly Away video. Somebody messaged me.
Which one?
I want to see if that's me or not. But so anyway, not now. We can show it later, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Regina's iPad, thank you for showing up for this show.
Hey, I do have one question for Regina before we go.
Go right ahead.
What's your dog's name? I'm watching it acting back there, laying by itself.
Thank you. I was gonna ask the same
digging away
thing.
at the couch.
Murphy. Come here.
Sparky.
That's Murphy Francis.
Oh, Murphy.
Murphy.
I love it.
Come here.
Oh, there
That's
we go.
Murphy Francis.
There he
Got
is.
Murph's attention now.
Hey, Murph.
Now people
You
are
can ask the
watching
same
show.
thing, Chris. I was watching Murphy digging around back there.
He's Southern Irish, so he's Murphy Francis.
Oh,
Good Irish.
Awesome.
Good Irish.
Hi, Murph.
Hi. He's like,
But-
look at it.
Bongo Mike, Regina's iPad, Chris CBob, Wally Swiatly, Rhodesy, everybody. Thank you. Another great episode of the Hogpod. All the love is just pouring out. Everybody
Thank
have
you.
a great night. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks,
Have a good
Pete.
week.
Bye.
Hey, guys.